Hi guys, and welcome to the workshop. I want to talk about my next project. It's probably going to be spread over a few videos because I'm planning as I go along, and I realise that long videos probably aren't what you want to watch. I'm not sure, but sometimes I must admit I get bored watching long videos, and also then I can release videos more regularly because I can release them in stages. Quite interesting project. I was contacted by a local business. They've seen me on Twitter, they've also seen my YouTube video, and they wondered if I wanted to make some tabletops for 2 oil barrels. They got an expo coming up at the end of the month. It's to do with waste and recycling, so it's quite interesting. I'm hoping I can do this project justice. I'm not sure if they realise, but my title gives away one thing, and that is DIYJ. It means I do it myself, and I'm not a professional, and I typically do stuff for myself, not for other people. However, you know, why not challenge yourself, give it a go and see what they say. So I've got 2 of these oil barrels that I need to create tops for, so let's crack on and think about what we're going to do and how we're going to approach it. Interesting project, never done it before. So guys, I've got no idea quite what I'm going to do, so let's start by drawing out a barrel and see where it goes from there. So I've got my barrel like that. It's quite simple, and I want a top on it like that. Now I've got to fix it to the barrel to stop it coming off, so I can only imagine if on the inside of the barrel I'll put some pieces of wood down here all the way around the drum, or at least 4, one on each as a cross maybe, and then that will stop it moving. So obviously if we look on the top of the barrel, so if we're looking down on the barrel, got the barrel there, and obviously this looks going to be wider like that, and you won't see that obviously, so I need to think of what the width, what the diameter of that is, and yeah, what thickness do we want this? So what thickness do we want it? It's got to be a reasonable thickness, I guess. So thickness, thick, diameter, and these little things here. See, obviously I'm going to have to glue some wood together. I've got to decide on what wood. Oh, that's a good point. I've got to decide on the wood also. So wood. So what wood am I going to use? Interesting point. It is for a recycling company, or a waste and recycling company, so maybe recycle something, maybe recycle some scaffold boards. So I think the first step though is to maybe mock up a tabletop for the right circumference out of some MDF. So I think that's probably my best bet. Cut up a piece of MDF, try and figure out how to cut a circle in a massive piece of MDF, probably about, what is it, about a metre, probably 1 metre, 1.2, I'll measure it in a minute. And go from there, see if I can cut that circle. And I guess if I do cut a circle in MDF thinking aloud, I could then maybe use that as a template when I get to cut whatever it is I've got to cut. I could put that around it, run a router around it, make sure the edge is really smooth on the piece of wood that I'm cutting. Or how else could I cut a big circle of wood? Interesting. I know I need to clamp up obviously some wood to make a larger panel. So, well, I think we should, next job we should do is obviously measure the circumference and then cut a piece of MDF as a template, and also have a test of how I cut a circle out of some wood. So let's give it a go. So guys, the first thing I need to do is measure this barrel and figure out what size I'm going to have the top. So that's 59.5 centimetres. I'm not sure really what size to have the top. So let's try, so if we went for a metre, that's going to give me what? 200 millimetres, 20 centimetres either side. 1.2. And 1.2 might look a bit better because you want to sit on some stools underneath it, have a drink, paperwork. Not sure. So I'm going to cut a mock-up tabletop out of MDF, and I think I'm going to do it for 1.2 metres. I can always cut it down, but anyway, when I get it there, get it on top, I can look at it, stand back, and see what I think about the top. So yeah, I think that's the next job. Let's get some MDF out and cut a 1.2 metre square piece, and then somehow figure out how to make it circular. Wish me luck. So guys, let's crack on and cut this MDF. I'm just going to put up my temporary cutting surface that enables me to cut full sheets on, makes life easier. I can do it on my own. I'm just going to adjust this so it's about 2mm, cutting below the depth of the MDF, so it cuts into my sacrificial top by only about 2mm. Yep, that's perfect, so we can now cut. We've got to turn it on. So I'm just going to find the centre of this, and then we can put a pin in the middle, a screw in the middle, get a bit of string and draw a big circle around it. So there you go. X marks the spot. Cut obviously a piece of MDF up. I've found the centre. I put a screw in the centre, got a bit of a string and a magic marker, and I've marked all the way around the wood, the MDF. Now I need to decide how I'm going to actually cut the circle out of the square. I could go about chopping the corners off to get rid of most of the waste I can and cut it as close to the line as I can, and I could then sand down to the line. Or I could make some sort of jig. I could make some sort of jig that I attach to the centre, and on the end of that I put whatever tool I want to use. So it could be the jigsaw, it could be a router, a few passes going around, or I suppose it could be the skill saw on the end of that and just cut around and see. Or maybe, can I attach this to my table saw on a pivot point and then cut it on the table saw? Interesting, not too sure. Okay, so that's the end of part one. See you next time.